Hello and welcome to Flow. I hope that you are having a good week and that you are ready to really manifest even better energy to have a better rest of your week. We are going to start this practice seated, or you can start laying down on your back or your belly, really whatever is comfortable for you. I'm going to start here in Sukhasana. It's really my favorite place to start. I think I am going to go ahead and sit on a block just to get that slight interior tilt of my pelvis. Get a head start on my good posture. Just really beginning to assess the breath. Notice what's going on in the body and where. Sometimes it can be helpful to place a hand over the belly, maybe two, maybe one even over the heart. And as you feel comfortable doing so, allow the eyes to close. And tuning into the breath. Feeling the movement of the hands as you breathe. Not necessarily placing a lot of emphasis or even effort towards which hand moves where or when. Instead, just supply the body with this prana, with this breath that is so desperately needed, and notice the movement that follows. Expansion as you breathe in, and relaxation, a grounding, a heaviness as you breathe out. Allowing the muscles of the face to soften, the pelvis to get heavier towards the earth, collarbones becoming broader, wider, the back of the neck through the back of the head lighter, beginning to feel expansive, feeling yourself as light and heavy. And then beginning to search the rest of the body for these opposites. Where it feels cool, where it feels warm. Perhaps there's even a lightness and a darkness within you. This can be temperament, mood, emotion, maybe something physical. Maybe you even begin to look for sensational opposites. So somewhere in the body that's a little uncomfortable, maybe a little tight from other workouts, but somewhere else in the body probably feels really good. So look for that too. Just toggling back and forth as you breathe, acknowledging these opposites of sensation. And from that awareness, create intention. What do you want to get out of this practice? Perhaps out of your day. I would say your week or your year, but that sounds like a Friends quote. Not everyone is a Friends fan. As you feel ready, bring the arms up as you inhale and down as you exhale. Linking breath to movement. You can either bring them to the side like this, like I am, or we can switch and move them forward. And as you do this, really reach. Feel the space in the shoulders, serratus anterior, and then down. Feel some resistance as you come down. You can also bring hands to heart, inhaling up, and then exhaling down. So create your own movement pattern here. Maybe you rotate through all three of these types of upward, forward, and then downward actions, as long as you move with the breath. Three more breath cycles, one more opportunity to work through all three of these types of movement patterns. Again, feeling the expansion, also feeling grounded. Affirming your intention, whatever it is. Begin to roll through the wrists, the fingers, maybe flicking out the fingertips. If you're still on your block, you can stay there. We're just going to begin to warm up the spine a bit. So the 6 movements of the spine, very basic, but also very important. So rolling through the shoulders, maybe beginning to twist a bit. And then moving in the opposite direction. So noticing what feels better. If one feels better than the other, go ahead and go back. You can also do both shoulders up and back at the same time. Paying attention to the elbows, not locking them out, keeping them soft. And then maybe reaching one hand down to the mat, other hand up into the sky. All the way to the other side. And then we're going to go back to the first side, but this time inhale, cactus the arm, chest up towards the sky. Exhale, round and reach. Neutralize. And this time we're going to inhale, rounding and reaching, breathing into the back body. Exhaling, opening up the heart. Arms out to a T. Neutralize the spine, other side. Inhaling to cactus the arm, open the chest towards the sky. Exhale to round and reach forward. Neutralizing, side body stretch. Opposite breath this time. So we're gonna breathe in and we're gonna breathe out. And then we're gonna breathe in to reach. All the way up, cactus the arms. Lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades together behind you if you like. Interlace the fingers behind you, pull the chest open more. Maybe even take a little back bend here. You can turn to the side so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I've interlaced my fingers. If you can't interlace your fingers, especially if you have to bring your shoulder heads way forward, keep the shoulder heads back. Instead, just reach palms towards each other. Now, if you can't interlace, go ahead and interlace. And just allow the chest to open towards the sky. Belly drawn in. Protect the neck. We're going to come back up. And this time, go ahead and cactus the arms again. Breathe in. And on the exhale, round the hands forward. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Perhaps bring fingertips down. Tuck the chin. You can even walk forward. Stretching through the little back, the glutes, the upper back, the shoulders. If you'd like to sway side to side here, get some lateral movement, you certainly can. If you'd like some revolved action, you can place your left hand, or really any hand, in the center. Take the opposite hand and thread the needle. Coming up, and then the other side. Coming back up, rolling through the shoulders, hands to heart, finding motility first, so just cinching in at the waist, using your core to twist towards one side. Twist, twist, twist. Inhale, exhale to twist a little more. And now if you'd like to see your mobility, to see what some traction can do, you can go ahead and grab onto whatever you can, whether that's a block behind you, the wall behind you, or your hand. Get a little gentle twist. Twisting through the thoracic, not the low back. And then unwinding gently, going towards the other side. First, that motility twist. Breathing in. Exhale, really rotating here. Feeling this massage that the liver, the organs get. And then if you'd like, getting a little bit more. Try to keep the collarbones open. And back up. Jazz fingers up. And then hands come down. Coming off your block. You can sit on the toes for a toe stretch, or you can just drop the feet down if you prefer that. I like a toe stretch. Roll through the wrists, maybe massage. Maybe you get to work stretching through the wrists. Pressing the hips from right to left. Leaning back. imagine that your mat is like the face of a clock. And you're just working the fingers in all directions, palms up and palms down. Really getting to the wrist flexors and extensors at different angles. Noticing the difference in sensation as you do forward and backward movements or side to side. Taking an opportunity to really get to know your body and what form it is today. And then from here, tucking the toes, leaning back a little bit more, perhaps even lifting the knees up, stretching the Achilles. Coming down onto forearms. If you need to walk the forearms forward a bit, you can. Step the feet back. I need to stretch mine out a little bit more. Come in forearm plank. Let's begin to wake up the core. Spread the fingers wide. And then try to pull your forearms apart from one another. Feel the upper back work here. And then just hover the right heel, the left. Try to keep the rest of the body still. One more on each side. Let's wake up the rest of the core, the rest of the body. Left hand comes to the mat, right hand to the mat. We're going to do the opposite. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Right hand mat, left hand mat, left down, right down. One more time each side. Good. Now get your hands to the mat so you're in full plank. Lift the hips up and back, down dog. Option here to bend out the knees, maybe both at the same time, lifting the tailbone, stretching the spine, or pedaling out one at a time, your choice. Walking the hands back towards the feet at the back of the mat, and then getting a good hamstring stretch here. So if you'd like to widen the feet, the stance, you certainly can. You can take a traditional ragdoll, or you can do nothing traditionally, and you can just move in the way you want to move, bending one knee or both, maybe even crossing one foot behind the other. Feel free to be playful, to be creative in your practice. Ujjayi breath is already in your practice. Please go ahead and initiate to cultivate that breath. If not, breathe in and out through the nose. Knees bent, hips high. Looking forward, walking forward, and then walking the feet forward. Sort of like an inchworm. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Press down through the feet, rise up, arms extend, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to heart, Anjali Mudra. Hands at the side, Samastitihi. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. Option to modify by dropping the knees down. Rock forward, chaturanga or belly to the floor. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the heart, open the chest. Cobra or upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Just a couple sun salutations through your namaskars to wake the body up, get them focused, really internal. Eyes forward, feet forward any way you like. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold, rise up. Hands to heart. Good. Just begin to do some awareness, some checking of the body and the mind. How are you feeling? Where is there heat, where there wasn't? How can you bring some coolness there? maybe we want a little more heat. Let's work with our Surya Namaskar B, and we'll get a little bit more heat going before we get into our sequence. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Planting the hands, stepping or hopping the feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg steps forward, left foot plants, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Hands plant, vinyasa. Remember, modify or skip these vinyasas if you need less. I often do. Left foot steps forward, back foot plants, rise up, breathe in. Breathing out for that vinyasa. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling, lifting the hips. 5 breaths here this time. If you need a little break, 5 breaths in child's pose, Nanda Balasana. Actually, that's happy baby, just Balasana, child's pose. Or this Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Knee down, rise up. Anjaneyasana. Really noticing here what you need. If you need to widen that front foot, if you need to bring the back knee back a bit so you're not right on your patella, or if you even need some padding, a blanket under that back knee. Back foot can be like mine, or you can tuck it, yogi's choice. Arms can extend, be it hips, or be it blocks for stability. This practice is yours. From here, hands down or to blocks, begin to stretch through the front leg. I would encourage a nice long spine. Blocks can be helpful. We're gonna pull the left hip back, press the right hip forward. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. And then we're going to walk the hands forward, bend the knee, hands forward. And we're gonna spring that back leg all the way up, standing split. And from here, notice if this hip is open. Mine's pretty open. You're gonna open it even more. And if you have a block, you can use it, or you can come on the fingertips, and you can begin to stack the heart, stack the shoulders, and find your half moon. Perhaps you wanna come all the way up. Notice, we're doing this pretty cold. I'm gonna use a block. It really does help find some ease here. And really be pushing up through that side of the right leg, reaching up with the fingers. At some point, if you have good drishti, good balance, good focus, you can try and do hands free, hand to heart. Just notice where you're at. Hands down to the floor, standing split. That means wrapping the right hip crease back under and lifting up through the heel as you drop through the heart. From here, if you like, notice where your hands are in relation to your shoulders. You might need to lean the shoulders a little more forward. Keep this right leg long, bend through the left knee, maybe a little handstand hop. Maybe not, mine wasn't so great. From here, vinyasa. It just shows that we're all in different places on different days. It's pretty cool. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, left foot steps back. Knee down, arms lift. If you're a girl, you always have to adjust yourself, I swear. Maybe boys do too. Anyways, doing the same thing on this side. If you need to widen the foot, widen the foot. You adjust the back foot, you can do that. You can bring hands to the floor, hands to blocks. Again, this is your practice. Allowing the pelvis to be heavy. There's a buoyancy there. Hopefully it feels good. None of this should feel bad, that's for sure. As you're ready, begin straightening through that right leg. Pulling the right heel back, left hip crease coming forward. If you're having a problem with the spine rounding, hands on blocks. Lift the heart, lift the tailbone, thinking about the cat-cows that we do. So this would be more the cow pose. Pulling toes back towards shin. Breathing into the back of the right leg. Bending through the knee. I'm going to move my block forward preemptively for that half moon. As you're ready, we're going to spring up, lifting up that left leg. And like I said before, we're going to early half moon it. So we're going to open up the hip. We're going to find rotation of the chest so that we can stack the shoulders. And we're lifting through the outside of that left leg. Finding drishti down and forward. For extra challenge, you can close your eyes. No, I certainly do not need the extra challenge. This is hard enough for me. If you like, pressing down extra through the foot to bring the hand to the heart. Noticing what that does. And then as you're ready, hands down. Finding where you are in space. If you need to rock the shoulders forward over knuckles, keep that left leg long, and maybe take a little handstand hop. And then when you're ready, stepping it back, vinyasa. Left leg extends high and steps all the way forward. From here, planting the back foot down, arms come up, warrior two. And again, looking at alignment here, making sure your heel is not in line with the big toe, so either heel to arch or heel to heel. Nice bend in the front knee, gazing over the middle finger of the left hand. Belly drawn in, collarbone spread, arms reaching. And then regulating the breath. If you need a little challenge here, sink a little deeper into the pelvis. Maybe even lift the heel to come a little bit deeper still, and then lower that heel. If you feel like you're being pulled forward by momentum, pull back. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. Moving back through that T shape, side angle. Now feel free to reach straight up or to rotate the palm to the front of the space, top of the mat, and extend. Perhaps even wrapping behind yourself, looking for the bind, keeping the chest open. Gaze up if that is helpful, but perhaps gaze down. And then hand to the floor, finding our side angle again, pressing through the feet to rise back up. Straightening through the front leg, tick-tocking the arms, triangle pose. Now instead of that really traditional cue where we pull the right hip back like we're between two panes of glass, instead let that right hip come forward and then just rotate through the chest. This will really save your SI joint later. You can have your hand flat on the floor, you can reach for your big toe, or if you like a little more oblique work, hover the hand. You also feel a little more work right here. Keep a micro bend in this knee to protect the knee. It's all up to you what you'd like to do. We're going to bend the knee again. If you found the bind the first time, find it again. And when you're ready, straighten through the leg, wrap the chest up, bound triangle. Deep inhale, deep exhale, release. Hands down to the floor, lizard lunge. And you can do your lizard lunge with the knee down like I went into it, or if you like, you can keep that leg up. The knee up really gives some opportunity to work with squeezing the left knee into the left tricep so the hand can float back. And maybe eventually both hands float back, maybe you find another bind. The choice is yours. If you'd like something with a little less effort, a little more stretch, you can come down to the floor. Another option, which I always take, is to let the right hand stay where it is, bend through the knee, and reach. Getting a quadricep stretch. Just remember, soft bend in the supporting arm. And as you're ready, hands down, vinyasa. Always free to skip the vinyasas. Pedaling out, breathing. Now we're going to step the left foot forward again. And this time we're going to bring our hands to the center of the mat, taking a wide leg fold. Feel free to go side to side, finding some skandasanas here if that feels good. Very well might. Getting some deep, deep, stretchy, or if you want more, some muscular work, you can do hands to heart. And then maybe instead of sliding along the ground side to side, you really press up using effort and slowly come down. Again, more effort. If you'd like to take this time to invert, to get upside down, feel free to do tripod or supported Shirshasana, yogi's choice. Only doing so if it is already in your practice, as this is not a Shirshasana practice that I'm teaching. Again, taking your time. I'm not spending much time here myself. Gotta fix my earbud. There we go. So as you're ready to come down, finding a half lift, more of this skandasana. And then what we're going to do is rotate the right foot to the back of the mat, keeping the back foot parallel with the front edge. And we're going to cartwheel up. And now we're in our warrior two on our second side. Giving this side the same amount of love and time as the first. Again, sinking deeply. Perhaps lifting the heel to come in a little bit more. Pressing through the back edge, nice and strong. Flipping the palm, reverse warrior. And then side angle. My mat is not grippy, so if you see me slipping and sliding, good example of why to buy a sticky mat. Option to extend. Option to even find your bind. Keep the chest rotating upward towards the sky. Stay with the breath, slow it down. Side angle, press down through the feet, rise up, warrior two. Readjusting the feet as needed. Straightening the leg, triangle pose. Same options here with the hands. Maybe hovering, grabbing, planting, really whatever feels right for you. And then bending through the knee, finding your bind, wrapping the chest up towards the sky as you straighten the leg. Again, oop, my mat is so slippery. Feel free to laugh at me. Next time I'll use my grippy mat. Anyways, coming back into your bound triangle. Releasing, hands coming down. Again, lizard lunge. In whichever way you'd like to take it, whether you want that really active lizard lunge, or you're reaching, you're flying, you bind, or maybe you want to take it down and get a good stretch. Choice is yours. Take your time. This time, the left hand comes to the floor and the right hand reaches back, getting that quadricep stretch. Soft bend of the left elbow. Hand down. And when you're ready, vinyasa. We're going to hop forward, feet to the floor, crossing at the ankles, butt down. Good. Boat pose. Getting right into it. If you like, extending the legs, reaching the chest, reaching the arms. Perhaps dipping the toes. You can bend the knees for this, or you can dip the heel. Make sure you breathe. And low boat. And then sink your boat. Good. Feet flat on the floor, wide on the mat. Let the knees fall in together. Hands on the belly, maybe one on the chest. This is our check-in point. Just like at the start of our practice. Feeling the body really as it breathes itself. Perhaps the breathing has changed. Your ability to be aware of the movement, the depth, that's still there. And also become aware of temperature, both within the body and outside of the body, where they meet, how they mix. Hug the knees into the chest, rock the head up, shoulders up, hugging yourself into a little ball as much as you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shoot out of a cannon into low boat with arms overhead. Breathe in together, breathe out. And as you breathe in, shoot out of the cannon. Breathe out, hug it in. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more, breathe in, breathe out. Cross at the ankles, widen the knees, arms through the knees. We're gonna rock up, hands down, hop the feet back, vinyasa. Left leg lifts. Now we're going to find pigeon pose. So left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. And then scoot the right knee back. Notice here, to keep the hips coming forward, you need some support under that left thigh or left glute. Maybe you don't. Just test it out. You can also roll up a towel or blanket. And starting with the chest lifted, letting this be a back bend. Because if you think about what the pelvis is doing, it's actually tipping forward. So if we then round, it's kind of doing this weird motion for the pelvis and low back. So first, let's just really let us get our back bent. And since we did that quad stretch earlier, go ahead and bend the knee. You can use a strap around the foot if you'd like. If you'd like, you can find your mermaid, whatever you like. I think it would be really helpful personally to let the chest stay forward. So that could mean something like this. Maybe you grab the shin. Maybe you use a strap. Or maybe you just squeeze and use the work of the back of the leg and the glutes to bring that stretch. From here, if you would like, you can find that sleepy pigeon. Might feel really good. Lift the chest up, lean onto the left hip, and bring the right leg all the way forward. So now we're in our Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Keep the chest extended forward, picking heart to toes instead of knee to nose. If you'd like that side body stretch, right arm on the inside of the leg. Then open the chest, stack the shoulders, and extend. Maybe finding that connection, maybe not. Coming up to a T, left hand on the floor, sweep the arm, lift the hips, and down. Good. Now, hands to the top of the mat. We're going to rotate to our plank and take a vinyasa. Right leg sweeps high, pigeon pose. Left leg scoots back. Again, using a block under the right side if needed. And just breathing. Again, if you'd like, getting more of that quadricep stretch. And if you are really bendy, if you've been working on your Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, your king pigeon pose, feel free to go there. It's one of my personal favorites, so I usually do go there, but it may not be yours. Feel free to use a strap or to skip it all together. And really notice as you squeeze your backside, as you bring the heel in, how much effort that is. You might even get a little bit of a cramp. That's okay. Land the leg, make sure it's straight up from behind you. And then if you like, you can fold forward, stack the hands, relax. Use your breath to stir everything that's within you. Temperature, breath, prana, earthing. And then lift the chest, walk the hands towards the shin, lean towards the right, left leg all around in front, Janu. So sole of the foot to the inside of the leg, inhale, exhale, fold. And as you're ready, if you'd like, finding that side stretch, left arm on the inside of the left leg. The right arm this time is going to reach up and then arch like a rainbow. As you rotate your chest and your gaze up towards the sky. Belly drawn in. Nice stretch all through the right side of the body. Coming up, right hand back behind you, circle sweep the arm, lift the pelvis. And sitting down. We're going to slow roll all the way down to our backs. Feet wide, windshield wiper the knees. Now, go ahead and bring the feet so that they're hip distance, and then reach your right foot up in the air. And then go ahead and try and tuck it in to the hip crease as much as possible. Kind of seeing how that feels, letting this femur rotate externally. And maybe you pull with your hip flexors, your low belly, the left knee in towards the chest. Perhaps you can begin to find your full lotus pose without using your hands while laying on your back. Okay, you might also find that one side is better than the other. And just so you know, if you can't get that second leg, that's okay. If you only got your first leg to your knee, just stay there like that, okay? You're gonna try the other side. One side is usually easier, so we'll see if I can do this or not, but just do your best. No, I don't know if I can do it. Let's see. Yoga is all about being playful and trying. So definitely not the same for me. We all have our sides. So for me, I would even stay here, to be honest with you. And the reason is because if you are a headstander, a Shirshasana, or perhaps even Pinchamayurasana or handstand, we're going to try and do this up in the air. If you are not a handstander, what I would like you to do is to do the seated. And then just allow your body to sit in the shape, okay? So to get into this, it's really important to take care of the knee. How do we do this? We start by pulling the heel in close to the groin and getting really good external rotation of the femur. So sitting sort of crisscross applesauce, I've got my right heel pulled in, and then as I lift it up, it kind of glides along my pubic bone, and I'm able just to tuck the external edge of my foot right into my inguinal crease. And then I do the same thing with this side. I keep the heel in tight, and then it just kind of tucks. Now I'll do my bad side too, just to demonstrate that it is not easy. I've been doing this for a while. So left heel comes in close, and then I pull it up, okay? This foot, so I've got my knee down, pull it in, there we go, okay? And if you'd like, you can even play around here. If you're not inverting, you can play around with using blocks and using your core, pressing into the blocks, finding lift that way. It's still gonna really work the core, I promise, trust me. But if you are an inverter, we are going to go ahead, get into our Shirshasana or whatever headstand, handstand, forearm stand it is that you like to do, and get into our lotus or half lotus, whatever version is good for your body and that you can accommodate for your body well right now. So as you're ready, again, this practice is for this part of the practice. If you're getting upside down, it's if it's already safely in your practice. Please do not take this as the opportunity to learn this, because that would not be appropriate. So as you're ready, getting upside down, floating if possible, piking up to use the most control. And then once you're there, finding your lotus, bending at the hips, being strong through the shoulders, strong through the core, and breathing. And whatever you're doing, if you're seated in lotus and you're pressing into those blocks, 5 breaths. If you're upside down, 5 breaths. If you've decided Shavasana early, Just lay there. 5 breaths. And after your 5 breaths, if you'd like to really investigate with curling in and pulling the knees down slowly, you can. Or you can safety bail out. Toes down, head up. If you were sitting on your backside and you had hands to blocks, release it down, move the body, let it feel good. And now let's go ahead and lay down. Hugging knees to chest. Perhaps even finding up an asana. You can pump if you like, bending and straightening through the arms. You can find Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Always a favorite, especially with all of the hip work that we did today. I recommend it. Even adding in some movement, maybe a little bit more work, opening up the hamstrings, or maybe bringing the feet together, finding this butterfly-like shape, perhaps even letting that butterfly land. Again, feeling the breath, feeling your entire body beginning to find rest. As you are ready, stretching your legs, letting your arms rest. If there's anything else that you would find helpful to finish your practice, it could be halasana, plow pose, shoulder stand. If you wanted to do a wheel, bridge, anything at all, go ahead and do that. But when you're ready, take your time landing, being an earthbound creature. Try to imagine that through your mat, through the floor, through the foundation, you're laying on the ground, no concrete, just earth. And if you're in a room, let the light behind your closed eyelids turn into sunshine, natural light. Slow the breath. Allow the body to begin to relax. Feeling a softness and a heaviness with each exhale. A cleansing, refreshing, an uplifting feeling with each inhale. Allowing yourself to be completely restored with each breath cycle. Breathing in what is new and good. Breathing out what is used and stale. Allowing yourself to slip into a very refreshing and relaxing Shavasana. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you possibly can, really enjoying the rest that you deserve. I would like to thank you for joining me for this practice. I wish you, as always, nothing but peace. Shanti.